Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today is a very special day, and that's why I wanted to film this video. Today marks the 1-year anniversary since I first touched down in Korea and landed on Korean soil. It's also the first day I met my best friend while in Korea, Miranda, who I actually met because we shared a taxi together from the airport to Iwa. And it's just such a monumental day for me because going to Korea for study abroad has really, it sounds very dramatic, but it changed my life a lot. It was such an experience and a lesson in independence that unfortunately I feel like I kind of lost a little bit of once I came back to my home country because I was surrounded by my support system again. But at any rate, in honor of it being 1 year since I first went to Korea for study abroad, I wanted to explain to everyone else why you should absolutely study abroad in South Korea. And to address the title and what that might sound like, I don't mean it to be like, if you're considering France, Germany, Hong Kong, why you should pick Korea over them. That's not it. Everyone has entirely different reasons for going to where they want to go to. Some people are Spanish majors, so they go to Madrid and, so forth. People just have other interests. Like, if I wouldn't have gone to Korea, I might have gone to Italy because I'm ethnically Italian and I'm interested in that culture as well. So there's just infinite reasons why you would go to other places, but this is for those of you who are wondering whether or not you should go to Korea. Like, Korea, yes or no? I'm talking to you. And the answer should be yes. If you can get it, if you can afford it, first of all, and like both monetarily and in terms of credit with your home university, as long as you can comfortably do this, then yes. These are the things you should not let hold you back. Fear. Because what are you gonna be afraid of? You're afraid of not making friends when you first get there. So was I. I had a lot of social anxiety over that. And guess what happened? As soon as I got to Korea, I got in a taxi and I met Miranda, who was my best friend in South Korea. Guess what else? The door next door to me had this girl, Simone, who was another one of my best friends. My camera died. Nikon, please, I'm trying to be sentimental. Where was I? Right, so Simone, one of my other best friends, is in the door right next to me in my dorm. And in one of the other dorms, who I met through Miranda, was Jade, who was another one of my best friends in Korea. And I met so many other people through school clubs, mainly Peace Buddies and Sayul. And just getting out there and putting yourself out there and going to language exchange events and downloading language exchange apps, because that is the easiest way to meet native Koreans. And you can choose, like I know with HelloTalk, which is something I used, you can choose the age that you want to talk to, the gender, stuff like that. There's gonna be some problems with those things with, thirsty men, but I'll get to that in my upcoming dating in Korea video. At any rate, if you're anxious about making friends, don't be. My roommate, she got home from class at like 3 in the afternoon and put on her pajamas and she did not leave the room. If that's how you're gonna be when you go to study abroad, why even bother? If you're not gonna go outside and put yourself out there, then I guess there's some things you can still enjoy from the comfort of your very small dorm room, but why would you wanna do that? So the point I'm trying to make is to not be afraid to go out and meet people, and just don't be afraid that when you go to abroad you won't make friends, because I was very afraid. I'm not shy, but I'm quite quiet. And that's a problem that it's caused issues in my life. The fact that I'm quiet but not necessarily shy, because I won't speak and then suddenly someone will say something to me and I just respond in this completely bold way that they probably weren't expecting because I don't usually talk. If that's the kind of person you are, or if you're both quiet and shy, Miranda's a little quiet and shy, but again, we met, we hit it off really well, and she was one of my best friends, and I to her, and it's just, please don't let that be something that holds you back. Something else people are afraid of is language barrier. If you're going to Seoul, South Korea, please don't be worried about that. You should definitely know the basics, like 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, like hello, thank you, stuff like that. But you don't need to go to a restaurant. It would help. You'll learn if you're taking practical or academic Korean, you will learn how to order in restaurants. But it's not like you need to sit down and be able to read all the Hangul on the menu and be able to speak directly and have a conversation with the waiter. You don't need to go up to your professor after class and speak entirely in Korean. It's not like you're having Korean conversations with people on the subway. If you don't know any Korean, you will survive and you'll do fine, because chances are you'll make friends with other people from your home country that speak the same mother language as you. So you'll have people to talk to in your native language. And you don't need to immediately start speaking in Korean when you leave, because enough people know enough English that you'll survive. Like, you can just point to a picture on a menu if you're going to order food. If you need directions, you can look it up on your phone. If you don't know how to talk to people, you can survive if you don't know the language. So if that's another fear of yours, don't let it be. Another fear people have is politics, and this is incredibly complicated to get into, but the general census of South Koreans living in South Korea, I've had conversations with my Korean boyfriend Andy about this. If they're not concerned on a daily basis, neither should you or your parents be. And I know recently in America at least, we're like freaking out because North Korea just like released another missile. But the South Koreans are like, this, whatever, I mean, they do this. If they're not worried trust their intelligence in their government. If their intelligence and government are not concerned, you should feel a little more at ease at least. I mean, you can still be concerned, it's in your right. But if the people living in that country know the day-to-day it's safe and stuff, then you should feel much more comforted. You should tell your parents that it's fine. And it's not like this is like such a militaristic culture. Like, you will see police presence, especially if like the president is moving or something like that, or there's like an event of some kind. But you don't feel like you're in a militaristic society, and you don't feel that government presence every day. Absolutely not. Another thing, if you're worried about cultural differences, do your best to understand them. Things like, if you sneeze and someone doesn't say bless you, don't assume they're rude. Just culturally, they will not say bless you. If you go to call someone, don't call them with your hand raised up, because that's very that's something they use for animals. You go to call someone, like, let your hand face down and call them like this. Just a lot of little things that if you're intuitive enough, you'll pick up on as you go. Money, Korea, some things are expensive, some things aren't. If you want to buy a lot of bananas constantly, then it's going to be like, oh my god, produce is really expensive, because it is. But clothing is not as expensive. So it's a lot of give and take. Generally, I know my background is the American dollar, and the Korean won is maybe like 82% of the Korean dollar. Okay, but all that fear stuff aside, the reasons why you should go to Korea are, it's absolutely beautiful. If you like nature, if you like trees and mountains and flowers and the cherry blossoms, oh my god, springtime in Korea is just mind-blowing. It's so beautiful. And it's so easy to travel. The subway can take you anywhere in Seoul and even a little bit outside of Seoul that you want to be. I went to Busan, which is the other side of the country. I went to Suncheon, which is the southeast side. It's just so easy to travel and go to other places, and you can travel outside of the country really easily, just like you could in Europe. People went to Japan, people went to Malaysia, people went to Vietnam and Thailand and other places in Asia, and it's just so easy to travel. It's just such a rich culture. If you're interested in history, there are so many museums to go to, and just traditional painting. There's a class for that. You can take it at Ewha, which is the school I went to. I'm not saying you have to go to Ewha, that's not that kind of video. But there's just so many cultural things you can do, and just fun things. A lot of things are open 24 hours. You can go to a 24-hour coffee shop. You can go to a 24-hour arcade. All of these things are available to someone living in Seoul. There's a million different themed cafes, sheep cafes, garden cafes, cat cafes, dog cafes, raccoon cafes. A lot of these are animals. There's cereal cafes, toy cafes, hip-hop cafes. Just wherever you want to go, they have it for you. So guys, there's so much to do in Korea, so much to see if you're interested in culture, history, art, or you're just interested in having a good time. Guess what? Hongdae is the club district, and you can go out and party as much as you want. It's just such an enriching place to be in. It's socially stimulating, culturally stimulating, and it's beautiful. And anyone that is thinking about going to South Korea, I would never in a million years trade anything for the experience I had. And as a lot of you know, I'm going back. If you're thinking about studying abroad in South Korea and you can afford it and it won't hurt your credits back home, what's stopping you? Is it the fear? Because I addressed that. Is it the not knowing what to do? Because there's so much to do. There's so many reasons to go to South Korea if you're thinking about it. And if you're thinking about other countries too, I'm sure, I mean, I didn't go there, so I wouldn't know, but I am positive there are just also a million reasons why you should go to those other countries too. In general, studying abroad rounds you off as a person because it gives you independence, it gives you more cultural sensibility, you have a much wider and open mind to things. You try new foods, which are amazing. You can try new styles of clothing, which is fun. You can just, there's so much to do. This is gonna get very ranty, but if you're thinking about it, nothing is stopping you but yourself. If your parents are trying to stop you, chances are you're over 18, you're an adult. Maybe they're paying for this, but you should be able to have some kind of say. And no one's gonna be able to make this happen but you. If you need a certain GPA, spend this semester, next semester working at that GPA. If you need to be at a certain level or a certain amount of credits, get there. Do whatever it takes to help you get there, because once you get to Korea, it's gonna be so worth it, I promise. So happy 1 year to me. Happy whatever else kind of day it is for you. Maybe it's sunny after a bunch of cloudy days where you live. Happy sunny day. I know it's really warm here in Philly, so that's fantastic because I've missed that. So, sorry, this is definitely very ranty, but again, recap, go to Korea, don't be afraid, have a great time, come back, live to tell about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back soon with a series of dating in Korea video kind of setup, which I know a lot of people are interested in and I have a lot of experience in. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.